Good day, welcome to the Automotive Dad and welcome to the 2025 Kia EV9. So what is the EV9? The EV9 is the flagship, the big boy of Kia's range, 99.7 kilowatt hour battery. This is a 6-seat version, so this is £77,000 on the road. It's powered by 2 electric motors to give you all-wheel drive, but it's extensively quicker than you might think for its size. So 378 PS, 700 newton meters of torque, 5.3 to 62 and a top speed of 124 miles an hour. All of this in something the size of a hotel room. But the real question is this an amazing family car? Because with 6 seaters and a range of 300 miles, this should be really good. So let's dive in and find out. Now from the front end, this is bold. It is strong design language and it's Kia's new design language. It looks good. Big, beefy headlights, nice massive grille, a zone where you pick up every single fly that you pass because it's quite flat-faced. Down here, these vents open and shut as is needed for cooling to do with the battery and the general coolant system. The front end just looks cool, it looks beefy, it almost looks powerful, which I think that's what Kia were going for, a very strong, bold design choice. It looks cool. And this particular car is finished in shadow grey, a £750 premium paint option that looks really cool. One of my favourite colours that this could have been in, although black on black on black would have potentially looked very good on this, though impossible to keep clean. Now the side profile continues with that strong design language. Whilst it is quite flat-sided, not a bad thing, helps with aerodynamics. It's got very strong and sharp lines put in. Looks really cool. 21-inch alloy wheels, which technically are diamond cut, but they've also got this aerodynamic cover on them, which I really like. I like the side profile of this. It is very long. Like, it's probably bigger than my bedroom in length, but it's a very cool looking thing. And it stands out among the world of big abrasive EVs in Kia's own way. As a flagship goes, aesthetically, it's looking good. Oh yeah, and these door handles, they pop in and out completely by themselves, just like a futuristic spaceship. Totally unnecessary tech, but super cool. Now finishing the back end off is difficult because it's a big car. SUVs, traditionally big vehicles, have big rear doors, and there's not a lot you can do with it. So Kia have implemented some design language in that, okay, let's make the lights go into the door a little bit. I like the light cluster design, looks really cool. Let's have brushed aluminium logo, just to make it stand out a bit more. And let's just kind of simplify the back end, because the design isn't shouty, it's quite nice. It's nothing too over the top, and typically it's probably to help with aerodynamics, because even the rear spoiler comes down to help with that aerodynamic flow. Besides the EV9 badging on the front and the GT line here, you don't really see much more shouting about what it is. No shouting about power or performance, or that it's got 6 seats, or that it costs £77,000 on the road, but the design is just very Kia. It doesn't need to shout too much, because ultimately the car is what it is. It looks good, doesn't have to shout about it too much. Now the inside is the place that you get to on this car where you suddenly go, oh wait, this is really fancy, because the interior of this car is stylistic, aesthetically pleasing, comfortable, resourceful, good for you. Well, how, why, what, when? Let's start with the Meridian surround sound system. And Meridian, back in the day for me, they were a JLR product, as in they were placed within every Jaguar Land Rover product. And they were good. They were really good. All of a sudden, it then changed up. They kind of disappeared a little bit and they started going within different brands. Fast forward to today, and it's inside this EV9. And this sound system is incredible. And it's not an option. You go for an EV9 GT line, EV9 GT line, that rhymes, and it's just here. And what a great system it is. Beyond that, you get in and you're greeted by a huge infotainment and mixed TFT cluster in front of you, which is easy to use, easy to navigate. There's an amount of buttons to actually use. Whilst there are a lot of menus, a lot of it's within reach within buttons. The buttons on the steering wheel are easy to learn and to navigate. But there is a lot going on, not going to deny that. Fast forward up to here, you can have a digital display on your centre view mirror, depending on if you want to see your backseat passengers or not. Look up and you've got not one, but two sunroofs. Well, technically one sunroof and one panoramic sunroof. More on the rear in a minute. And the seats are just super, super comfortable. Easy to choose how you want them set up, and you can even put them into like a lounge reclining mode. And ergonomically, these seats are good for you because while you're driving, they adjust and help you to kind of stretch out. You've got massage function, heated and cooled seats. There's a lot going on here. Oh, and a heated steering wheel. And beyond that, there's cubby holes everywhere. So from a family point of view, if you were doing a long road trip, bearing in mind you could easily do 250 miles in this car, and that's when you'd need to stop and recharge. For that 250 miles, you're comfortable. It's easy to drive, it's easy to see everything. The interior is nice to be in. And there are cubby holes everywhere for every family essential that you could possibly think of. It's just really well done, it's comfortable, and whilst it isn't shouting with different materials, there's a couple of material uses going on here. They work really well. I really like it. These seats are great. And Kia have done really well. Basically, yeah, it's good. Get yourself in the back seats, and that's where the luxury begins, because this is a 6-seater model. And the 6-seater model means both of these chairs spin round to face the other way, kind of turning it more into a minivan. But they are incredibly comfortable, can recline, are heated and cooled also, and give you bundles of legroom. Look up and you have a huge panoramic sunroof. Wait a minute, the back's looking pretty good. There are also more cubby holes, more cup holders, more USB-C chargers. There is everything back here. It's really well thought out. In fact, if you want a different temperature and different setup to the people in the front, you don't even have to ask them to change it. It's up here. It's easily done. There are vents in the roof. It's just well thought out. As a family car goes, it's exceptional. Because when you take 6 people, sometimes the kids in the back want to turn around and see the people in the back. Well, that's easily done. Just pull a lever, turn the seats around, job's a good one. But these seats are spacious. Are the back seats spacious? If you have these in full recline mode, maybe not so. But put them in a slightly forward position, which still gives ample room, bearing in mind car seats don't take up that much space. And the rear seats fit 2 fully grown adults easily. In fact, I can fit back there quite easily right now. Hello! So this might genuinely be one of the better family cars that I could possibly have asked to get in, because not only is it spacious and useful and full of technology, you can fit 4 Isofix car seats in here. 4 Isofix 360 spin car seats if you set the seats up in the right way. And that is ridiculous. No other manufacturer can offer that. That is incredible, because if you look at things even like Mercedes Vito or Viano, they'll end up having one seat which can't take an Isofix because of some silly regulation within their manufacturing, some policy. Whereas the Koreans at Kia have said, we need to make sure that this can be versatile for everything anyone wants to throw at it. And that they have. This is very versatile and comfortable and luxurious, very family friendly. Finally, you come to the back of the car where the impressiveness doesn't stop. The boot, because it's huge. Now, traditionally in a 6 or 7 seater vehicle with all the seats up, you have almost no space. But as you can see behind me, I have a Cassato Whoosh 3. Ample space for this, ample space for a bassinet, an eye candy, 333 litres of boot capacity with all seats deployed. However, press a couple of buttons, like so, and electronically, these seats go down. Press another button, those ones will go down, but I've got stuff on the back seat and I don't want to crush it. But get those 2 down as well, and all of a sudden you have access to an extra 2,000 litres of boot capacity. 2,000 litres, which puts this at 2,380 something litres of boot capacity. So much so that when I went to an event this week and I didn't want to pay £130 for a hotel, I just put a blow-up mattress, double mattress in the back, and had ample room. And then looked up at the stars through the panoramic sunroof. You can put this in utility camping mode so it will keep you warm all night. There's a plug socket in the back here. There's everything. The boot capacity of this is just usable. Even if you're carrying people around, it's not difficult to fill this up with a normal amount of kit. It's just not what I'm used to in a 6 to 7 seater vehicle. And the boot height's not difficult either. Obviously, if you've got really heavy things, might be a bit more difficult. You might scrape the bumper a few times with really heavy things, like if you wanted to move a dishwasher or a washing machine. But it would still be easily done. So yeah, the boot space is gargantuous. Now the drive of this is impressive, because ultimately this is a 2.6 ton car, but it does have 378 PS, 700 Newton meters of torque, and it's 5.2, 5.3 to 62 miles an hour. So we are talking Golf R fast. And I guess if you were that way inclined, you could probably spec a Golf R up to about £77,000 anyway. But this doesn't really drive like its size. So hear me out. Whilst this is incredibly smooth and the driving feels really nice, the throttle response is good, the brake feel doesn't feel massively EV-y, you can put this in iPedal mode and drive it quite easily on one pedal, and it is comfortable, it is good. Throw this round corners and you barely feel the weight of it until you're really pushing on. Drive cycle wise, expect anywhere between 2.7 and 4 miles per kilowatt hour, depending on your drive cycle, because ultimately in the winter this is going to get more towards the 2.7. But I was only seeing 2.7 when I was pushing 70 miles an hour-ish, with air conditioning on, with 6 people in it. And while I appreciate this is a heavy car, that's still impressive. I mean, by any means. But actually, a different drive cycle, still driving 6 people, still driving on the motorway at motorway speeds, and all of a sudden I was getting 3.4, 3.5. So it kind of depends on, I guess, headwinds, how many hills you've got, but this is very good at getting good range. The performance is, I'm not going to say engaging, but it is fun, and for a big car to be able to move as fast as this does, it's just hilarious. The steering response is just reasonable. It's not giving you loads of feedback to the road, but it gives you enough to be able to enjoy the drive. Because technically it's a GT line, it should be a bit GT-y. And it is, it's fun. I mean, I'm just driving around town now, and I'm getting 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour after my first mile and a half. 1.3 miles of driving. Not even trying, and I'm getting that. And when it comes to having some of the more aggressive driving input, as you could quite easily do on this car, the seats are comfortable and pretty holding. Now, whilst they're not as holding as I would like for the faster paced driving, they do hold enough, and the bolster adaptation is there. The side bolsters can be changed to grip you into the seat a bit more. And it's just a comfy car to drive long, short, whatever distances. It's really easy. Now I'm up to 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. See, I'm not even trying. Although I am now stuck behind literally 100 cyclists. In summary, it's a good driving car. The performance is good, the economy is good. And it does beep and bong at you when you go near speed cameras, but nowhere near as bad as some other manufacturers. The beeping and bonging isn't over the top, and the tech that's at your fingertips is easy to navigate while you drive. It's just a comfy car to drive. And I'll add that your Apple CarPlay integration is good, the sound system's good to get you going for your fast-paced drive at the national speed limit. I just enjoy driving it. And it's really well thought out for, there's me going 0.1 miles an hour over the speed limit. It's really well thought out for the family man who's a bit of a car geek, who does enjoy his driving. You can enjoy it with this and still get really good fuel economy, electric economy, just say economy. Although technically electricity is a fuel, so... One final thing before we finish, the charger back here is touch operated. I mean, totally bougie and unnecessary. And at 7 years old, I'll be worried how much that will cost to fix. But it's so fancy and extra, and that's kind of my summary of the EV9. Because it is bougie, it is fancy, it is extra, but it's also good looking and usable. Nice to drive, 77k on the road is a lot of money. If you want a PCP on one of these with 8 grand down, you're still looking at about £1,000 a month. That's direct from Kia though. Go to some places like Lease Loco, and all of a sudden you'll be going, wait a minute, I can get one of these for £600 a month, or less, depending how much you put down. And for £600 a month, I actually don't know what else you could want to spend your family money on if you want an EV. Because 6 seats make it usable for bigger families. ISOFIX on every rear seat makes it usable for families. A frunk and a trunk, although the frunk, to be fair, doesn't actually have a lot of space, it's just good for storing cables. But with all seats deployed, you can still fit prams and all sorts in there. A drive which is still relatively engaging, and you really, really don't feel the weight of this vehicle until you are absolutely pushing it through corners. Acceleration and a driving feel which is just nice and comfortable. An easy 300 miles of range, with aircon on in the summer at 70 miles an hour. In the winter, expect more like 250 miles, but that's fair enough. But see, up to 400 miles with everything off in the peak of summer, driving the windows down around town. That is, for a vehicle of this size, ridiculous. And charge at home in this really doesn't cost all that much to run. Yes, it has a massive battery, and yes, if you plugged it into a 3.5 kilowatt charger, it would take over 40 hours to charge. Understandable, but it's good looking, it's nice to drive, it's comfortable to be in, it's safe, it's family friendly, and Kia have ticked so many boxes. So if you're thinking of trying one of these, definitely go and try it for yourself in whatever version, option, whatever you need it to be in, because I think it's going to surprise you. Because when this turned up, I just thought it was going to be a massive behemoth, and it will feel massively EV-y. But those days are long gone. This just feels like a good, solid, reliable, family-friendly car, SUV, van. It's kind of everything. Good job, Kia.